These are our newest intakes, Spoingus and Bingus. Bonded twin orange and white kitties that were unceremoniously abandoned outside to fend for themselves when their owners moved out of their house. A few of the neighbors were kind enough to help provide for them while they were out there, but it wasn't a permanent solution. We were hoping someone would take them, but he was still seeing them out there, so we decided to intervene and plan a rescue mission. We loaded up the cat carrier and hit the road to the neighboring county to secure the scrungles, not even sure if we would be able to find them. We're in an impoverished area of the rural Midwest where a TNR program or a well-funded shelter is considered a yuppie daydream and bullets are cheap and plentiful. We had such strange weather along the way. In typical Missouri fashion, it couldn't decide if it wanted to be sunny or rainy, so it just did both. Even with the rain, it was still hot enough to see the heat waves. We have the kind of humidity where your sweat can't evaporate off your skin because there's already too much water in the air and you just end up falling out with heat stroke. It's a suffocating heat that will literally drown you in your own sweat. I lived in Phoenix, and although it was humid during monsoon season, at least it wasn't like this. I can't imagine walking around covered in fur with this kind of weather. He's been stopping in to feed them and check on them for the last few months after someone in the neighborhood was threatening to harm them. It's become a yearly tradition that the beginning of August has a really bad heat wave that we end up saving a cat from. The first year it was Claudia, and then Doofy. Then last year it was Squiggy and her kittens, and now these little babies are struggling to manage under some of the extreme temperatures we've been having. We're already pretty overwhelmed with the cats we have, so it wasn't an easy choice to take them on. But like usual, we'll find a way to make it work. They were left behind like trash, so now it's time to turn them into someone else's treasure. Hi, sweetheart. I'm gonna go for a ride.
Who I am.
Oh, wet tail.
There you go, get in the back.
We gotcha! Look at you. You're safe now, baby.
Your friend is in the back.
You're safe. Yes, look. You guys are so cute. Look at you just chilling. Like you know you're safe now.
That's why we had to get the pair.
Now that we've successfully collected our specimens, we're gonna go home and start the intake process. We're gonna weigh them out and give them each a capstar to clear out any fleas they might have before we move them in. The amount of illness you can prevent by keeping them treated for parasites is amazing. I don't think a lot of people realize just how fatal they can actually be. Life-threatening anemia is not fun to deal with and is a common cause of death in untreated kittens. Kittens are rough because they're so small at first you can't use anything on them other than soap and water. Revolution also protects from mosquitoes that transmit heartworms. I didn't actually realize this till more recently, but although they can get rid of heartworms in dogs, they can't get rid of them in cats. Once they have them, there's no going back. These mix in really well with churros, so they're super easy to get them to take. They're probably dehydrated, so some hydrocare and wet food is definitely in order. With the influx of cats coming through our doors, I think it's finally time to open up our adoptions to the public. We don't charge an adoption fee, so thus far, I've only adopted cats out to people I know personally or that have come from a vet recommendation. But I think I've finally run out of people I can force these cats on. I just finished making the adoption application the other day, and I'm hoping I thought of all the important questions. It's really scary to imagine handing them off to strangers, so I'm trying to be as thorough as possible without crossing that line into invasive territory. Assuming everything goes well when we get them to a vet, they'll be a very adoptable pair. Later on, I ran to the vet and got them some Revolution. It's a topical treatment for fleas, ticks, ear mites, and some intestinal parasites. I also picked up a bottle of these tapeworm pills from Walmart for around 15 bucks. They're made by a Landco who also makes Drontal, so I trust they'll do the trick. I really need to buy like a whole case of these things the way I run through them though. When cats get fleas, they gnaw them off while grooming, and when they eat them, they often pick up baby tapeworms from them. They can also get another kind of tapeworm from eating mice. These pills treat both. They're kind of big, so they're not as easy to hide in food as something like a Capstar. I had a much harder time coercing them into eating these than the last churros. I meant to scan them for microchips earlier, but I forgot, so we're gonna do it now. Anytime you get a hold of a cat like this, you should make sure to take them to your local vet or shelter to be scanned, just in case they have an owner out there missing them. It's typically a free service, so take advantage of it. In this case, I know they were abandoned, but I'm still gonna do my due diligence. They could have been stolen from a perfectly loving home before all this happened to them for all I know. Microchipping should honestly be compulsory considering how many lost pets die in shelters every year. Not that it's a perfect solution. What I've noticed from places where they have mandatory microchipping laws, the cats that are recovered are rarely ever registered. I'm guessing part of that is vets aren't always clear that you have to register them. I think people assume because they have all your info on hand that it's just done for you by someone there. It's extremely important that you register the chip or it's an entirely pointless exercise. I think a really easy way around that could be to have the receptionist register it before the animal ever leaves the clinic with it. I might be missing something that makes it not really possible for them, but I've never really understood why that's not done when we already know it's a huge issue. This little device is a Halo microchip scanner. It's an absolutely amazing choice if you're in the market for one. It was sent to us by one of our amazing supporters from our Amazon wishlist, and I hope she knows just how much I appreciate not having to shuttle kitties all over the place for scans. It's super accurate and you can scan for pretty much any kind of chip you could imagine. Now we just have to wait for their neuters. My clinic has been booked out till September for spays, so girls are not only way more expensive to fix, but there's a significant wait time as well. These guys were fortunate enough to slide into an appointment on August 12th for their neuters though, so I'm ecstatic we don't have to wait long. Bindi was scheduled a while back for her TNR stuff, and her appointment is until August 26th. I'm not complaining though, that just means a lot of cats are getting fixed and I don't have to do it later. I'm spending an arm and a leg on all the spays I have lined up, so I'm not sure when I'll be able to afford all the rest of the vetting they need to be adoptable. I need to get each of them an exam, a blood test, a combo vaccine, and a few other little things, so it'll take some time to save up for. They'll be living in the isolation space while we wait to learn their health status. In the meantime, consider checking out some of our other adoptable kitties if you're interested.